Welcome to the T-Level Science Core Assessment Employer Set project. Task 1, Researcher Strategy Task Overview. In this presentation, we will guide you through the details and key considerations for Task 1. It is important to note that not all information provided is correct at the present time, but may not reflect future changes to guidance. Be sure to check latest documentation for the latest information. Task 1 is the synthesis task and it plays a crucial role in the Employer Set project. Let's delve into the specifics. Task 1 requires students to access an NCFE provided database containing a variety of sources to produce a literature review, which will enable them to produce a plan during Task 2. Students are required to work independently under supervised conditions. Students must complete this task within 3 hours and manage how they will spend their time using the Task 1 guidance. Students will be given an additional 30 minutes to complete their project diary, which will facilitate the completion of Task 6. The project diary will not be assessed. Students will have access to the project brief, computer access, NCFE provider literature database, which is in Appendix 1 in the project brief, guidance on capturing browsing history, researcher strategy, template proforma, and project diary, plus any other resources stated in the provider guide for each specific assessment series. The evidence requirements for this task is the literature review, source justification, so researcher strategy, template proforma, browsing history, and any other evidence stated in the provider guide for each specific assessment series. Understanding how Task 1 fits into the broader project is essential. In Task 2, the students' primary goal is to gather research. This research will be the foundation for creating their project plan. Importantly, any risks students identify in the literature must be included in their risk assessment. Task 2 sets the stage for the project's risk management. Task 3 is about understanding how data of this type has been analysed by other sources. This understanding will be invaluable during their data analysis phase. It's also critical in assessing the strengths and limitations of the data, allowing students to critically evaluate its quality. For Task 4, the literature review, students create here forms the introduction to their poster presentation. This sets the tone for the audience, providing context for the students' research findings. Task 5 enhances students' understanding of the project's background, issues and potential solutions. This knowledge is vital for tasks such as discussion and email responses. Task 5 ensures that students are well prepared to address questions and engage in meaningful discussion. Task 6 revolves around maintaining a good project diary. These notes will be students' key to a successful reflective evaluation. A well-maintained project diary enables students to reflect on their progress and learning effectively. Each task in the student's project has a unique purpose and contributes to the overall success. But understanding the significance of each task, they'll be better prepared to excel in their project and achieve their academic goals. Task 1 offers an opportunity to demonstrate various core skills, including researching, CS2, and reflective evaluation, CS7. To demonstrate these core skills in this type of assessment, students should use the performers that are provided. The performers include a table that allows students to identify which sources they've selected to inform planning and which they have not selected. Consistently reference. Select which style of academic reference will be used and stick to it. Justifying source selection or rejection. When justifying which sources have been selected and which haven't, it is important to discuss the amount of data presented in the source. For example, is there enough quantitative data to support that conclusions made within the source? Identify any bias that may affect any conclusions made by the source. Use quotes from the sources to further justify those selection decisions. As with all tasks, use a professional tone within their writing. And finally, reflect, including notes in the student's project diary so that they can complete the reflective evaluation task in 6. So now we're going to explore how to maximise student success. Using the Autumn 22 Grade A exemplar, the examiner commentary from the task to highlight the key areas that can maximise success. alongside the descriptors for Band 4 marking criteria. And then using this example, you can apply this to the other example, giving a way to measure student achievement. So let's have a look at this grade 8 students. So the Chief Examiner's commentary on the student work can be summarised and cross-referencing with the grading boundaries. So the first key area is the comprehensive literature review. So this is your AO2, and there's evidence of that Band 4 criteria. The student's literature review discusses a wide number of research sources with a total of 11 sources analysed. Each source is clearly indicated as selected or rejected, and the review provides a well-justified rationale for these decisions. The relevance and reliability of each source are discussed in detail. The review quotes data from several selected sources and explains how the strategies outlined in these sources can be applied in the relevant setting. For accurate and consistent referencing, so again, we're in assessment objectives 2 and we're in AO4. Again, we can see Band 4 criteria. The literature review correctly referenced all quotes and articles using a recognised academic referencing technique. The referencing technique is applied consistently throughout the work. Most of the selected sources have at least one direct quote correctly referenced. In regards to high quality English and technical terminology, we have an AO4 and evidence of Band 4 criteria. So the review is written in excellent English with correct grammar, spelling and punctuation consistently evident. It conveys meaning clearly and effectively, maintaining an appropriate professional tone expected for a literature review. The use of scientific and technical terminology and language is excellent with no errors. And potential for full marks in the AO2. To achieve full marks for the first AO2 criteria, there could have been reference to the availability of quantitative data from all research sources discussed, including those that were rejected. While the review did score Band 4, a slight improvement in this aspect could have led to a perfect score for this criteria. So let's explore the Chief Examiner report from the Summer 23 series overall for all student performances. Students generally performed well in this section, selecting and rejecting sources effectively. Many students provided rationale for their source choices, demonstrating their understanding of source reliability. Some students limited their discussion to only one or two sources, which affected their marks in this task. Discussing multiple sources was crucial for achieving higher marks. Common errors included omitting discussions about the presence or absence of quantitative data in the sources. Students were sometimes lacking in explaining how a source would be useful in subsequent tasks, impacting their marks. Most students correctly referenced sources, but there were instances where referencing skills were lacking. Proper referencing was essential for earning marks in this task. And some students made the error of writing the literature review in the first person rather than using a formal third person approach as required. So let's summarise. Students need to demonstrate effective research skills, use the provided performers. These performers include a table to identify selected and rejected sources for their planning. A comprehensive literature review should discuss multiple research sources. When selecting or rejecting sources, justify decisions by discussing the quantity of data, identifying potential bias, and using quotes from the sources. Students should provide well-justified rationale for source selection, emphasising relevance and reliability. They should quote data from selected sources and explain how their strategies can be applied. Students should ensure that they consistently reference all quotes and articles using a recognised academic reference technique, use a professional tone within their writing and maintain accuracy in referencing. Accurately referencing is critical for achieving the required standards. Students should write in excellent English with correct grammar, spelling and punctuation, maintain a professional tone and use scientific and technical terminology accurately. And finally, in the literature review, critically analyse the presence or absence of quantitative data in the sources, explain how each source will be useful in subsequent tasks, demonstrating a deeper understanding of its value. Thank you for watching. We wish you success in the T-Level Science Core Assessment Employer Set project.